am Lawson, and I am back with a new episode of the Horizons Author Lounge. And once again, as always, I am excited because we actually have a couple of authors that you really need to know, and one of them is another youth author. If you joined us last week, you may have seen that we featured two youth authors whom I met through the Black History Month Literary Weekend. But this new author who I'm going to bring on, she's actually a seasoned author. She has a few novels, a few books out, children's books, and she's also a National American Miss state finalist. And as many of you know, my own daughter was in the National American Miss pageant, and she won fourth runner up for the state of Maryland. So I'm super excited about that, and I'm really proud of her. But today we're going to be meeting a young lady from the state of Alabama, and I think she is ready. Hey, Purpose!
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
No, thank you.
Man, the last time you were on my show, you were so young. It seems like it was forever ago, and it was really only a few years ago, but you were a lot younger then, and your mom was helping you, but now you're just all grown up. Look at you. So we're gonna jump into the books, but first I want you to tell me about your run for state finalist for a National American Miss, because I was really excited to see that, and I will be supporting, by the way.
Thank you very much. But dang, so it's very interesting because this is my second pageant,
Okay.
and this is my second pageant. And my first pageant was just like for fun and stuff, and like it was just like, oh, you would like get like a few little monies. But the fact that I went to like a small cute little pageant to a state pageant is really interesting. It's like because when I have my second pageant, this is like I'm gonna win money and all that cool stuff, but I'm not in it for the money. I like want the experience, so like and like have more have different opportunities for like more
Yes,
like so like oh like when I like win the pageant, I'm speaking it into existence.
exactly. Say when, don't say if.
When I win the pageant, like I'm gonna be like excited. I'm gonna be excited, and I'm not just there for like the money and stuff. And I want to like have different opportunities as like have different friends and get to like teach other kids. That's gonna be like the new pageant like for the next ones in line.
Right. So now I understand that you already have a platform that you're running on. Can you tell me a bit about that platform?
So the platform that I do currently have is that I am currently a inspirational person.
Okay.
And I'm an inspirational person, and I have my own business, and it's called Everyone's Purpose.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to the inspiration part, and then we're going to talk about everyone's purpose, because that's how we're going to transition into these wonderful books that you have. So let's start with and by the way, Yvette Miller says speak it into existence and it shall happen. So you keep that in mind. So now I there you go. Now I understand that you're an inspirational person, and you're wanting to inspire people who may be living with autism.
Mm-hmm. And ADHD and ODD.
Okay, so that's a big platform.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. I think I see that. I kind of can't see it because like
Yes,
it's
he's
so small.
yeah. Mark said, "Hello, Purpose. Congratulations on your accomplishments in the pageant and your books."
Thank you so much.
So that's a big platform that you're running on. Inspiring a lot of people in different groups. Why did you choose that?
I chose it because one chosen it or is it chose?
Yeah. Why did you choose it? I mean, you have chosen it. You chose it. Yeah.
The reason why I have like chose it is because I felt like it was like my calling, if that's the right word, if I would,
Yes.
if I may. Um, but like I feel like it was my calling to be like other people's role model. I don't know if I am people's role model, but I would love to be their role model. But it's very. I feel like I feel like it's kind of like not my job. Like I have to do this every day, every single hour, every single second. Like it's like just being myself. People think I'm so funny. I just don't have a filter on.
Well, you made me laugh, so I think you are funny, and I've seen your posts. You are a very positive person. I don't think I've ever seen you down, so that's a great thing. And I think part of that is having a mother who pushes you the way that she does, and she encourages you. And but I don't see her pushing you in a way to where you're doing things that you don't want to do. I see her encouraging you and helping you build on the talents that you already have. Would you say that?
I would definitely agree with you though. I would.
Yes, I know your mother well. For those of you who don't know, Purpose's mother, Dr. LaTracy, is doing amazing things for African American authors. She has a wonderful platform called Black Authors Matter, or excuse me, Black Authors Rock Community, which I am a part of, which I love. And she's actually been on the show a couple of times as well. And she's also sponsored the Black History Month Literary Weekend a few times. But and Purpose was actually a featured author for Black History Month Literary Weekend a couple years ago. So I'm super proud of everything that you're doing. And I see your hand raised. I think you have something that you want to
Yes.
say.
And if y'all did see the intro, my mother was on there. It was the lady like at the last part. It was like
She was on the intro. You're right. I forgot about that.
but currently right now she did have red hair and now she's currently back to like some of her natural color. It's like a golden natural color, kind of like how I dyed my hair.
Okay, well I'm liking the hair.
Thank you.
Yes, the
I got
color
a
looks nice.
I got a retwist and I bleached it.
Ooh, okay, you're grown. How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 11.
Oh my goodness.
I'm living my life. I'm living my dreams.
Girl, I'm telling you, Purpose, you are not the same little girl I interviewed a couple years ago. I'm loving this.
I wasn't the same little girl back then either.
Oh my goodness, you are hilarious. So tell me about everyone's purpose.
So everyone's purpose is my own business, a business that I have created since I was 7. I'm currently 11, if y'all did not hear. And I did start that business. I'm going to tell you the absolute truth because I love the story to everything in me. My mother made me. I did not want to write a book. I love money. I love money. Like I am y'all. If y'all like I am that person who loves money but like doesn't have it often. So, but I do have now that I do have like back. Let me get back on track because this ADHD is coming out. But I was like, oh, I want money and stuff like that. But well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do to get that money. And I was like, oh, and before my mom knew I did have ADHD, but my teachers from 3rd grade still love them now. Love them. Oh, okay. That was your comment. Okay, I was like, but they told me I was dumb, and I was like, I'm gonna prove them wrong now because I came home, and they were like, I'm gonna give Purpose an F, like if she doesn't do this and this and this, because they didn't like my mama because she stand up for me. So my mama stand up for me, and they're like, but we're gonna give her an F. We're gonna give her an F, and if she doesn't bring this up before this and this testing, she's gonna have to start 3rd grade again. And currently I'm in 5th grade, so I kind of Cardi already went like 2 grades up, so I ain't gotta really about it. But and I'm like, I wanted to prove them wrong, and my mom goes, "Okay, you want to prove them wrong, so like you got to do something about that." Like I was like, "I know, but like what do I have to do?" Like because I'm still whining, and she's like, stop that whining. I'm tired of it. No, I don't like that. You want to prove them wrong? Stop being a baby." I'm like, "Oh, Mom."
Yep, that's that tough love.
I was like, "Mom, you can't be saying that to me." She said, "Aren't you my child?"
Mm.
Yeah. She was like, "Shush, stop crying. It's not that deep. I understand it might be deep to you, but like, I don't like that whining." And I was like, "Well, like, how am I supposed to prove them wrong?" And then she gives me this marker, this expo marker. She's like, "Right, didn't you tell me you wanted a business?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am, but like, I don't know what to start. I don't know how to start it." And she was like, "Right, what do you want your first book to be about?" I was like, "Manners," because I grew up at my grandma's house.
Yes.
Grew up washing dishes, doing laundry, watching movies, doing all that stuff.
Right.
So I was like, Mom, I want to write it about my grandma. She was like, stop that crying, because I'll give you something to cry about. I was like, please don't. I said, I want to write something about my grandma. I was like, I want to write something about my grandma. And she was like, okay, but like, what do you want to write? I was like, we can talk about like manners and stuff like that. And she was like, what type of manners? And we write down, we're like, this is one manner. Oh, when you're speaking to adults, say yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, or
right,
yes, or all that stuff. The good manners. And like, if you're like, there was one mistake. It says it's it was like my grandma always told me to stop smell a flower, but that was okay. And I was like, but like, who's gonna be my publisher? And my mom goes,
yes, Dr. Tracy.
And I was like, you can do that? She was like, now you have to like sell me on the idea. I was like, okay, so like this and this and this and this, I should feel like you should publish my book because of these and this reasons. And she was like, okay. And then she published my book when I was 7 years old. And that's how I got my name.
Now, do you have a copy of that book with you right now?
Currently, I do have a copy, but not currently like right here.
Purpose. How we gonna see the book?
Do you want me to go get it while you distract them?
Okay, I'll only if there's another book, I need to see that one too. Can you grab both of them?
Yes, I will. Just give me 5 seconds.
We don't have all.
Okay.
We sold out. Never mind. That's a good thing, though. But y'all can. Oh, hold on. I love the way you're handling this interview. You're funny and chill.
Oh my goodness.
So we're not sold out?
We're not sold out on the activity books. You have that one.
That's what she wanted to.
I'm sorry. We have that one. We don't have the activity book.
Oh, we have this one. This is the original, not the original one, but like this is like one. This was my first book. Why do I have 2 of these? That's not what we're gonna do though. By the way, I did a different signature, but like that's my official signature.
Oh, that's cute.
This was my old signature, but now I have a signature that goes like, oh, and here's my logo if y'all ever want to see that. And here's the activity book up here. Oh my gosh, I don't like this opposite thing. I don't like that.
That's okay. I can see it correctly.
And then here's our new flyers. This is actually this lady right here. This is the Miss Alabama. Miss Alabama. Her name. Mom, what's her name?
Her name is Brianna.
Miss Brianna. Brianna. Is it Brianna or Brianna? Brianna.
So now tell me, Purpose, how can we support you for your pageant?
You can support me by going to my website www.everyone'spurpose.com.
Yes, I put it on the screen for those of you who didn't catch it, and it is also in the chat for those of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube.
And you can pre-order your books now if y'all want. I'm not gonna go through the whole book because one, that's like kind of like a spoiler alert, and I don't want to do that. But here's the original book. I don't like this little opposite thing, but here's the original book.
Mm-hmm.
And the mistake I was telling you about. Oh, Mom. It says my grandma taught me to stop and smell the flowers and appreciate the little things.
That was what you were talking about earlier. Yes, love it. Well, I've got to tell you that. Well, first of all, here's another comment for you, Cheryl Mentor. She says, She says she's so proud
That's
of
my
you.
auntie. That's my grandma. That's my Nona.
And then we also have some comments coming in from Instagram. Uncultured Asian. She said, I've only been listening for 5 minutes and I'm already inspired from this young queen. And Malika J. Stevely says, I am trying to be like Purpose when I grow up. See, you are touching people in ways you don't even realize. So I want you to keep doing what you're doing, okay?
There is no limit.
Absolutely. Come on with the finger. So are you working on any new books, ma'am?
I am. I'm working on 4 different books.
Oh my goodness. No, wait a minute now.
ADHD,
Wait, Purpose. You're working on 4 books. You're running for Miss Alabama, National American Miss Alabama. You are still in school and you're running a business. How are you doing all this at 11 years old? Oh my goodness, you have a mama and a half, I tell you.
And people say I look like her often.
You do look like your mother. You look just like her. So Mark Bosseljoy said that we need to support you because of your encouraging message and dope personality. And he loves the way you've been flipping your hair.
Oh. No limit. Here's my. Thank you, Nona. Tell me I said hello. You are amazing. Thank you. By the way, there is a book that I have 4 books but one of them is already on the market. That's not already made, but it's going to be made. Thank you. Is it my favorite person from my food place, my Philly cheesesteak place? He didn't do my book. Yeah. And my book from my favorite person on. Let me stop because I have a lot of people that are my favorite, but like food favorite. He is going to be in my I'm Not My Diagnosis book.
Yes, I heard about the I Am Not My Diagnosis book. So first of all, tell me about the book.
So, you know how I have, what do I have? I have ADHD, autism, dyslexia, and ODD. So y'all know how I have all those?
Okay.
So I have those, and people are like, but she doesn't like, I can see the ADHD, but like, I don't see the autism or the ODD or the, like all of that stuff. I was like, what? And my mom had the idea, like the author brain, where it was just going like this. It was going like this. And what you do have one? You have like 46 books.
Okay, keep going.
But sorry, ADHD family. But and she was like, we should make a book out of that with people who at the age of 11, I was just worried. I even got homework at school. That's the thing. But
you have an anthology.
What
I
is
am
that?
not my diagnosis.
Oh, what'd you say?
Anthology.
Anthology.
Anthology. It's a
I'm
collection
not
of
my
stories.
diagnosis. She said that. She said that.
Okay.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Purpose. Now tell me about the book.
So about which one though? Like I'm not my diagnosis.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So about that one, it's about like people who like you know how there's more people of not of me, but like more people who have diagnosis and stuff like that. I want to make a book. I want to make a book that tells people or that makes people know that like I am not my diagnosis. I'm not. My diagnosis doesn't have a look, as I can kind of say. Like if you search up right now, like autism, and go to like images, it's just gonna have like inspirational pictures and stuff like that. You're not gonna if it pulls up a picture that's kind of off, don't you think? Because like I didn't know autism had a look.
Right.
Or ADHD.
Right.
Or ODD. Or dyslexia.
Yep.
So,
and everybody looks different. You can't look at somebody and
like,
see what their diagnosis is.
Like, you already have this and this and this and this. Like, for all you could know is you probably don't even know my name and you already assume it? Okay. Okay.
Are you sure you have not been in this world before?
Probably. For how I'm acting. Somehow I already know people's backstories somehow. So I'm thinking my afterlife. She was moving, all right.
I cannot. Just focus.
Oh, this is
Focus.
Yes. You're not a diagnosis. You're amazing. Thank you, No.
And Tanya Arnold says you are a genius.
Yes.
And you're not your diagnosis. 8. I 8 down.
All right. So when is your book going to be released?
I am not my diagnosis.
Yes.
June 1st.
June 1st. Dang, it's a little far.
That's actually really close. It's a lot closer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying it was far, so I don't have to worry about it. But one of the books that are, because one, y'all know that I have ADHD now that I've told y'all. You know how like, the reason why I say I have 4 books that have not been made is because I have ADHD and like I've made half of books and just haven't done the other half. That's the one thing about ADHD.
You work on them at your pace.
Yes, which is almost one of those books have been on save for 2 years. Almost 2 years at least.
Well, that'll get you through your teens. You work on them as you can. Next thing you know, you'll be 15 years old and a multi-published author and a multi-best-selling author.
I'm excited to be like Gabby.
Who do you want to be like?
Gabby.
Gabby, what did she do? Gabby.
You know, Gabby, you met her dad at the TSP.
Oh, Gabby Goodwin from
Oh,
Gabby
I thought
Gold.
you were talking about Gabby Douglas.
Oh, Gabby Goodwin. Yes. It was.
Shout out to TSP because y'all gave me the backpack because our car did get stolen, but we're not going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about the future. That's going to happen. Thank you for that backpack. That backpack works best for school.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Mama, do you want to come say hi?
We'll switch. Ready? Hold
Oh
on.
my
Wait.
goodness. We're gonna do the switch.
Okay,
Oh
if
my
I can get up.
goodness.
Oh my goodness, she is a mess. Thank you so much for having my baby.
And this is the lady who I was talking about at the middle part, that she was in the intro.
I was in the intro.
You were in the
Yeah,
intro.
you're in the intro of my show. I have a whole 1 minute intro to the show, and
Yes.
there's a clip of you back when you came to New Orleans, when I used to do a show in New Orleans.
Yes. Yes. Those
Yeah.
are the good days on the West Bank. Yes.
Absolutely. So I just want to commend you. I had to take these last few minutes of the interview and just commend you for the work that you have done with Purpose, because she's been doing such amazing things since the very first time that I met her. And then the story that she told about how you were able to use tough love to encourage her to move past what people said about her. I mean, I think that's beautiful. And I say tough love because you were like, stop whining. Okay, what are we going to do about it? I got you.
Right. And that's it. I mean, even every day we have a struggle. Someone's going to say something. Hey, Mark. Yes, people are going to say something. They're going to talk about you. Thank you. They're congratulating me. They're telling me that I did an amazing job with my girl. See, I did that. I did. Don't look like that. If it wasn't for me, now listen. But honestly, it's not easy. And to be able to have my own health struggles, and then with her as well, and still pushing her, you're not going to around here. You got work to do. Your name isn't perfect for nothing. So
absolutely. So now, if you want to know more about Dr. LaTracy and Black Authors Rock, I'm gonna put the website in the chat. We put Everyone's Purpose in the chat, but I also wanted to put Black Authors Rock in the chat as well.
Thank you.
But it looks like you have more than one. Okay, here we go. Because you have Black Authors Rock Community on Facebook, but then you also have your website, Black Authors Rock. And what does Black Authors Rock do?
We are a full service coaching
consulting business. Ma, I've been around you too much.
Well, here's the deal. We have relaunched. And so in the process of relaunching, we have our Black Authors Rock, and then we have Bar Arts Collective. And so I'm just so excited because there's so many people who still want the services of Black Authors Rock, whether it is the publishing, the printing, or the promotions. And so we have separated it from the Bar Arts Collective, which we have our artist awards every year. You were at the first one it was
beautiful.
Yes. And so we are on year 4 with the Artist Awards in November. And so we've been doing amazing throughout, this platform. And so we're expanding right now and just making it bigger for our authors.
Wonderful. So I've got to tell you, I love what you were doing with Black Authors Rock. It feels like just yesterday that you and I met, and we've just clicked ever since.
Yes, 2017. Yes.
Goodness, yes. When I came out to Gulfport to give you some shoes.
Listen, the power of social media. You guys see this firsthand. We're in 2 different states. The reach is international. And that is why it's so important for you to get your brand out there, to get your products out there, and get the support if you can't do it yourself, to have the support to do it. And so that's why I love what I do.
Well, I will tell you this. We were actually in 2 different states when we met each other. I was living in Louisiana and you were living in Mississippi. And you're now in Alabama and I'm in Maryland.
Yes.
And we haven't missed a beat.
Never. Nope.
But this is what true support and friendship looks like. We do some similar things, but we do not compete with each other. We complement each other. And I've supported Dr. LaTracy. Dr. LaTracy supported me, and it's going to continue to be that way because it's really about the authors that we're supporting, the authors that we're helping. That's right. If we're too busy fighting and competing with each other, then we're going to affect the people that we're trying to help.
That is so true. And that's important. People need to know that, because just like we have Meet the World, listen, That's just one platform. Those same artists, those same authors can turn around and go on the Black Authors Rock platform, or even on my personal brand, which is Behind Closed Bars. It's always a way to get that opportunity and get that exposure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, unfortunately, we've come to the end of the interview. But once again, I want to thank you for all of the work that you're doing with Purpose. Congratulations on just everything. I mean, her books on Black Authors Rock, on Everyone's Purpose, and like I said, I will be supporting her run for Miss Alabama. My own daughter did the competition in Louisiana, and then she did it here in Maryland, and she was able to get fourth runner-up here in Maryland. And she was excited about it. You know, she wears her crown proudly. In Miss Silver Spring. So so this is a great platform, and she's right. It's not just about the money. It's about everything that goes along with it. Just building on her platform, encouraging other people, being a role model. So yes, I will be supporting, and I ask everybody else to do the same. Before we get off, I'm going to put the website on the screen one more time. Everybody, please go to www.everyone'spurpose.com for information on Purpose's books, as well as her platform and her run for National American Miss Alabama.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. I mean, even when your baby was running, I was like, okay, let me run that Cash App. It's so important for us. Look, we became internet TTs in the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
We are. We have to support each other and support our babies and what they want to do positively.
Us women stick together.
All right. One day we're going to have to give Purpose a whole hour, because she could be teaching a master class right now.
Yes, I know. Yes. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. That was Purpose Copeland and her mother, Dr. LaTracy, with Black Authors Rock. Please make sure that you all support these two amazing young women. And now, without any further ado, we're going to bring on our next guest, Mr. Solon Phillips.
How you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad that the clock has sprung forward, so we have longer days now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad about that.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I'm glad about is that I had the opportunity to meet you during the Black Authors, I'm talking to them, the Black History Month Literary Weekend.
Yes.
And I got your book, but I was like, okay, wait, we've got to get him on the show, because sometimes people say they want to write a book and they want to get it out there, and then there's some people who take that extra step and actually do it. And when I saw everything that you're doing, that you're not just an author, you're also an attorney, and you also have so many different platforms. I wanted to make sure I got you on the show. And this is not your first book. And you only gave me the one book. How many books do you actually have?
A total of 3 now.
Wow. And you're working on a 4th?
Yeah, I'm working on 4th, 5th, 6th. That's what I ultimately want to do.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the book that you gave me. We'll start with that.
Uncle Bill. But first, let me just say that I was blown away that weekend. I was invited over to the Barnes and Nobles in Bowie. I live in Bowie, Maryland. And that was great, meeting so many authors. And then the brunch, I'm so glad I decided to dress I just thought it was a brunch. I didn't know it was going to be such an elegant cream and ivory. I didn't wear cream and ivory because I didn't know. But when I got there, I was just like, wow, this is really, really nice. I hope to be a part of it. You do it every year, right?
Absolutely. And we will be doing it in 2025.
Oh, I have.
And in 2026, we're going to New Orleans.
Oh, wow. Yes. Very well done. The music, the food, all the authors. I was very well blown away.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Yes. So the book is called The Adventures of Uncle Billy and Ross. Now I've just signed, I think the young lady, a Lyra publisher, Dr. Clint.
Yeah, Dr. Clinton Miller.
Yes, yes, amazing publisher. I signed with them, and they're redoing the whole cover. She gave me a sample. It looks so much better, so I don't even really want to show this now because it's just so much better. But so that new one I think is coming out towards the end of April. But that book, I wrote it because I've learned so much in life reading so many different authors that helped me grow as an adult. Books from Napoleon Hill, a guy named Earl Nightingale, Shakespeare. There's just so many stories that has helped me. And what I'm doing is I'm retelling some of those same lessons in a book to where young people could understand. Because I thought that if I had known these type of things, these tools, when I was 13, 14, 15, I would have been so much further along than I am now sooner. So that's what this book is about. It's Uncle Billy. He's a very wise older man. Ross is a very young, witty teenager. You know, he has kind of a smart mouth, but he's teaching him lessons about saving money, about reputation. There's a chapter in there about Black history, where he's, you know, the younger people today, I just take a different spin. I like to do creative writing. So my objective is always to educate and educate and entertain at the same time.
Yes.
So this book definitely does that.
So this book is actually kind of written in a fictional platform, but it has real life advice, so to speak.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a fictional character, two fictional characters, Uncle Billy and Ross, but the lessons in it is taken from real life situations.
Okay,
So,
that's a great way to do it. I think that and I was talking about this recently with another author, is that everybody doesn't want to read a self-help book, or they don't want to be told what to do, or they don't want to feel like they're being given advice. And when you're able to do it in an entertaining way, such as Uncle Billy and Ross, it actually makes those life lessons a lot more digestible.
yes, definitely. And it's for young people, but older people have written me and told me that they're applying some of the lessons, you know, so it's for every age, but ideally I want to target the teenagers, because if they really read these chapters and apply the lessons, they'll find themselves far along in life.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you said that it's going to be re-released. Here's your date, April 26th.
Yes. Yes, April 26th. That's the projected release date.
So you know what that just means? That means you're going to have to come back on the show and promote the book again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll love to. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, you know, we still have some dates available in April, so
Yeah.
we'll get you there right around that release time. I don't know what day April 26th falls on, but I don't think it's a Monday. But
I don't.
that's okay. You just come to Monday prior.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work.
So, but what made you decide? I mean, because as an attorney, we often think of attorneys as very serious people who don't have time for all these other things. You know, you're working on your cases, you're reading law books. What made you say, I want to write books? I want to write entertaining books, fiction books.
Yeah, well, I've always been a writer. I think when I was in the 8th grade, I used to always write little stories. And then going into law school, it's funny because it's kind of like this contradiction. They In law school, they teach you how to write like a lawyer, but then they tell you don't write like a lawyer, because they want you to write in a way it catches the judge's attention or the clerk's attention. So because I was always writing as a youngster and in college, I've written plays and done short stories. I've taken that approach in my legal practice. So when I'm writing my briefs, you know, I write it, I make it. It's still a legal piece of work, but it's still entertaining, so to speak. You know, I retell someone's story. Our motto at my firm is whoever who tells the best story wins. Where is it? Yeah. Whoever tells the best story wins. That's our motto. So at my firm, all of our attorneys are storytellers. We tell a client's case. So I just enjoy writing and telling stories. And so the plan is in the future to just be a full-time author, writing. I want to do some legal books, tell real life stories of cases that I've had in family law or in some other areas. I want to write more relationship books. The first book that I wrote was a relationship book. And I am an investor, real estate investor, and I want to write more books about the ins and outs of becoming a successful real estate investor.
Well, so you're going to have a whole multi-genre library just on your own books.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how do you find time to do all of this? I mean, being an investor, being an attorney, also being an author. How do you compartmentalize your time?
It's tough, and that's the challenge now. My plan is I'm hiring more attorneys so I can slowly step away from practicing law myself. My real estate company, it's pretty much self-sufficient now, so that's freeing up some time.
Oh,
So I'm hoping within later this year, I could contribute a lot more time to just straight writing. But now this book that I'm writing now is a real estate book, and I've been working on it for the last year and a half.
and that's tough in and of itself. I mean, I've never tried to do real estate, but I've heard many times that it's tough.
Yeah, it is. Once when you know what you're doing, then it's a cakewalk, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to educate my readers, set them up to be successful.
Right. I'll tell you, like Mark put a comment up here that he likes the idea of writing about investing in real estate. I think that we have kind of romanticized investing in real estate because we'll watch HGTV and we'll see these real estate investors who are flipping houses and making all this money. And then you hear people say that real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. And so now so many people are wanting to do it, but I don't think that people always understand the work that goes into it. There's the unsexy side of it.
Right. And there's people who capitalize on those who really want to invest. That's the second book I wrote is called King Khan. And it's the truth about real estate investment courses and seminars. So there's these companies that charge tons of money for you to come and learn how to invest in real estate.
Yes.
And then what they teach you sometimes is outdated and it's very difficult for you to make the money. So this book that I wrote exposes them basically. My son, he was young and he wanted to do investing, and they helped him to secure $19,000 in credit cards, and it went all towards the seminar.
Oh, wow.
And then he found out that he couldn't do anything with it. So
Oh,
I had to fight on his behalf, and we was able to get back all of the money. But I've heard so many stories of people, this happening to them, and they're not able to get their money back. So this book is how to in dealing with these seminar companies.
wow. That I think that's a horror story, and unfortunately, it's not even the worst horror stories out there.
Oh yeah.
I remember going to a seminar and they made it seem so easy how to be a broker, where you purchase a house and then sell it 30 days later. They make it sound so simple.
Right.
What the first thing is do you sold the contract for $10,000. This is how you make a quick $10,000. But it's not that easy.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're stuck with this house.
Yep. Pay all this money and then they just leave you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Mark says he needs a copy of King Khan. Is it on your website?
I think so. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Definitely go on Amazon and get it there. The new one that I'm coming out, it talks about everything from getting an LLC, why you have to have an LLC, why you can't just do it on your own, to finding lenders, finding contract. Oh, the chapter on contractors could be a whole book. You have to really watch out for contractors. I'm on a mission to stop people from paying contractors up front. If there's any contractors out there listening, I know they're going to be hating me for it. But all contractors always want a deposit. Give me 30% down. Give me 35% down. Don't do it. I had a case of, this is a real case. A lady came to me because her husband was a contractor and he was paid 30% of a $100,000 job to finish a lady's basement. Well, between the time he started and a few months later, he died. He had some sort of blood clot. Well, the owner of the house sued his wife, saying that that money had to have been gone to you. He didn't spend it on my basement. So it turned into a huge lawsuit, all because she, and I could understand her problem. She paid this man to finish her basement and he passed away. No one expected that. And so the money was gone. We don't know where the money went. We pulled his account. He didn't give it to her. You know, he just was using it on other things, but we had to fight for her. She didn't spend the money and the money didn't come to her. So she wasn't liable, but they tried to make it seem as though the husband gave all the money to her. So there was this unjust enrichment cause of action. So the moral of the story is contractors would tell you that they need the money up front in order to buy the materials. You just tell them, I'll buy them. Go to the store, call me, I'll use my credit card and I'll buy the materials. But
that's what my mom did. I'm from New Orleans. I don't know if I told you, but my mom was affected by Hurricane Katrina. Her whole house was flooded out. And the first time she trusted a contractor, he basically just threw some cement on her floors and then disappeared. Wow. So after that, she started doing exactly what you said. Whenever they needed supplies, she bought the supplies herself and had them at the house for the contractor, so he didn't have to buy up front. Because they're gonna buy the supplies. They're gonna buy probably the lower end supplies. And then they're going to, let's say the supplies, just throwing a number out there, only cost $1,000. They're going to tell you $2,000 so they can pocket some of that money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she just decided that she would buy all of the supplies herself.
Well, and what my contractor was doing, and I don't know if all contractors do this, but he would buy in bulk. So if he had drywall or nails, he would charge me X amount of dollars, but he already had that in his storage, so he didn't pay for that.
Right.
You know, appliances, he already had that stuff. So, but yeah, that's what the next real estate book will be about. I'm really excited about that one. Then my first book that I wrote was called, and this has been published twice, is called Colored Water: Marriage, Involuntary Divorce, the Law, and God. This is a very detailed, researched heavy book. So if anybody wants to really know, it has a lot of biblical text in it. I taught Bible class in different churches for several years. So it's taking that approach, but it talks about marriage. Then it talks about involuntary divorce. As an attorney, it's very, very, very seldom couples divorce the way they marry. You know, when you have a proposal and you say, would you marry me? Well, sure. And then you both go and you agree to this thing. When a marriage ends, it's usually only one person who's wanting it. The other person has no choice and they have to give in, and it's usually a big fight. It's very seldom I would see two people come to me saying, we've thought this over and we just don't want to be married anymore. So involuntary divorce is a situation where one person wants the divorce and either makes the other person want it, you know, they start acting. And the research shows that when somebody wants out of a marriage, they know it. And so they start acting in such a way to make the other person want it too. You know, so they start doing things that they know the other person don't like. So they're starting to fight and they say, look, we need a divorce, all this fighting, but they didn't know that the person in their mind had thought about it months or even years prior. So it talks about involuntary divorce, and then it talks about the law. You know, you hear a lot of people say, well, is marriage a contract or is it a covenant? You know, the church people say marriage is a covenant.
Right.
There's a chapter that talks about what marriage really is legally. And then it takes God's view on it. How does God view divorce and the causes and the reasons and all of that? So there's so much in this book that this actually won an award. It won a literary award.
Oh, that's awesome.
13. Yeah.
And can you show us the cover once more?
Sure. The first one is this, and then it was republished to this.
Oh, I can see colored water better on that one.
Yeah, colored water. The idea is that marriage is a beautiful, pure institution, but people come in and they color it up, you know? Yeah, and then there's going to be a spinoff that dealing with relationships before marriage, you know, people dating and what to look for in partners, how to make healthy, happy, peaceful, loving relationships.
And when do you plan to release that one?
2025, next year. If all goes well.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, yeah. It's been in my head for so long. It's just a matter of sitting down and bringing it together.
So, tell me, with Colored Water, who should read that book? Should it be the person who's about to get married, maybe in a relationship and thinking of marriage? Or is it for that couple who's already in their marriage and maybe contemplating divorce?
Okay, the one chapter, the very last chapter, is for people who are unmarried thinking about marriage, because it has research about different things to look for. Some people are just not marriage material. You know, they lack that commitment. So there's things that in that last chapter that you can look out for. But the book in itself is mainly for people who are married and are thinking about maybe jumping ship. That's who the main target is for.
Okay. Oh, that's deep. So some people, I think the problem with that though is that some people don't want to admit that they're thinking of jumping ship.
Right. They don't want to admit it. And if they get this book and their spouse sees it, they're like, if they're thinking about it and they read it, I'll just put it out there. It will be very difficult for them to jump ship because they're going to see what that type of thing could do to their spouse, themselves, and their family.
Right.
So if they're really thinking about it and they start reading it, they'll probably just put it down and say, I'm not reading this. You know, or they'll change their mind and say, I'm going to give it one more chance. Churches use it as some churches have written me and said they're using it as in their counseling with couples.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that. And I think it's really good material for counseling.
Yes.
You know, I think, I don't know, maybe it's just this day and age that divorce becomes the first option instead of the last option.
Yeah.
And maybe if this were involved in their counseling, if they were to get counseling, this could help them to really make sure that they're putting real thought into what could be a permanent response to something that could be a temporary problem.
Exactly. Because it costs so much money.
Oh.
And so much issues that can come along with that. Whenever I have a divorce case, I always tell the judge, I say, Your Honor, I'm going to purposely not tell you certain things about this other spouse, because when we're done here, their life is going to continue and they have family, they have children, and they're going to have to interact. And if I say some of the things that they've told me, that interaction is going to be affected. So the judge always thanks me and lets me know that, because, you know, that's the nature of divorce, is to try to mudsling, you know, to try to make the other, especially if there's children involved, try to make the other parent look so bad that the judge would look favorably on you and give you the children. So you have to, the moral of the story is really think twice before you marry. That's the key.
Now, the new book, you said that this one is more for relationships. Is this for people who are in a relationship to like a short, well, maybe not a short-term relationship, but maybe a longer-term relationship, but they're not living together, or this is for people who are living together?
These are people who are dating. These
Okay.
are just relationships. It talks about meeting the other person's needs and communication. Those are the two big things. And I'll write it in such a way to where, I have all of my books here, there's in sections, and I have a whole section on relationships. So I'll take some of the experience that I've gathered from the specialist and put it in a way that I could help people to understand.
Nice. Well, you have a lot going on, Mr. Phillips. But the very first book, going back, is going to be I should say the very first book starting now.
Yeah, the real estate ones should be coming out hopefully before, we're in March now, hopefully by June.
Okay.
I'll talk to Dr. Calinthia, and I don't even have a title for it. She's so great. I think I'm going to see if she can help me come up with a good title.
She's probably already doing that because she's still watching.
Yes.
So but you have the re-release coming out April 26th.
Oh yeah, the re-release of The Adventures of Uncle Billy and Bob will be out April 26th.
Yes. So Uncle Billy and Bob, April 26th.
Yeah, Uncle Billy and Ross. I'm sorry, and Ross. Yeah.
I didn't think that sounded right when I said it. I'm like, something's wrong.
Yeah, Billy Bob. Yeah, no.
Uncle Billy and Ross.
Yes.
April 26th.
Yes.
And then in June will be the real estate book, most likely.
Yes.
And then, but then the relationship book, the relationship version of Colored Water.
Yeah, that would be in maybe, I don't know. I'm going to work on it a lot during the winter break. So maybe February, March.
Wow. So yeah, this is awesome. Congratulations. I'm really glad that you linked with Dr. Calinthia. She's wonderful.
Yes.
And if there's any way that I can support you, please continue to let me know. Let's make sure that we stay in touch.
Definitely.
Yeah. And in fact, I do have some things coming up in the DMV that I'm planning. So I'll make sure to keep you abreast of that as well.
Okay. Are you local? You're in this area?
Yeah. I live in Accokeek.
Oh, okay. Cool. All righty. Yeah, we definitely have to get together and do things.
Yes, absolutely. Let's make sure that's why I said let's make sure we stay in touch. I was actually talking about some things that are coming up in the next couple months, actually in the next few weeks, that I'll be talking with you about, and I'll make sure that you stay abreast on that as well.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Well, thank you once again for being on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Anytime you want to come back, all you have to do is say the word.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, you guys, that is the end of the Horizons Author Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who have teenagers, just really, really quickly, I don't want you to forget about the Graduating Senior Scholarship, the Meet the World Image Solutions Graduating Senior Scholarship. We would be giving away $1,000. So here's your information right here. You can scan the code on the flyer and it will take you to the application. Make sure that your graduating seniors get this application and complete the essay, get the letter of recommendation. Don't let them pass on this money because they don't feel like doing another essay. I made that mistake in high school. And I wish I hadn't, because I'm gonna tell you, even if it's only $1,000, that pays for your books. You might have a full ride scholarship, or you might have an athletic scholarship. I remember giving a $1,000 scholarship to a young man who had a full ride. He said he still needed money to pay for books. He still needed money so he can eat in the cafeteria. So that's why these smaller scholarships are so important. So let them keep building up and building up and building up. And next thing you know, your child is going to school with $1 million worth of scholarships. And I've seen it happen. So make sure that they take advantage of this. I'll show the application one more time, or excuse me, the flyer one more time. Make sure you scan this code. so you can get the application. And I really want to see you guys or see your kids as part of this contest. I can't wait to read their essays. And the deadline is not until April, so you have a little time on that. But that's all I have, guys. I just want to once again thank you for being a part of the Horizons Author Lounge. Thank you for helping me to make this show grow and continue to be a service to so many authors out there, so many independent authors. That's what this is all about. This show will continue to be free for up and coming authors. We do have other promotional activities that you can use to build upon your appearance on the show, but just the initial show is free. We want to keep it free because we want this to be a service for all of you who are working on producing your next books. So that's all I have for tonight, guys. Thank you once again. Make sure you join me tomorrow night on Black Authors Matter TV. And then once again, I'll be back here on next Monday for the Horizon Author Lounge. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'm your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson. God bless you and have a great night.